I'm Monty McKinnon. Thanks for joining me today. This channel, if you're new here, is about building guitars, and right now we're working on an acoustic guitar which has a beautiful flame in here that's going to be just gorgeous. This is a Brazilian rosewood, and this is a Sitka top. We've got all the shell already put around here. We have a nice armrest carved in here already, and we've got a sound port in here with the nice green stripe that comes in here, the purfling. So that's what we're working on. And today what I want to do is make another one of these. This is the fingerboard which we cut in a previous episode. And so I'm going to show you what we're going to be doing with this in just a minute. First, what do you say we run that intro? This is the fingerboard, which I really want to make for this guitar up here, because I think this will be a good fit and a good color. This one is darker, and this is a Madagascar ebony. It's a striped ebony, and I want to put the same white line that you see here running around the fingerboard right through to the back on here. And the way I'm going to do that, and the way I have done it with this, is I had a piece of veneer here, and I very painstakingly cut all along here until I came up with some strips. So I've got two strips here, and the thing is, we need to do this in stages. The first thing we need to do is to take one of these and glue it onto the back here. Once that's on, we then shave it down to size, and then we put the one on the side, and then we do the same thing, and then we do it on this side, and then we've got this thing all wrapped in maple. Then what I do is I take some more dark ebony and I run this all in and around there with the maple on the inside, which when I bump this on the sander and smooth this all down, gives us this really nice looking white line that runs all the way up here and across and down here. Now, this is nice and smooth on the back, and the reason it is, and it has to be, is because that's getting glued onto here. This is the neck. So we're getting very close, and as you can see, with the beautiful Brazilian wood that I have here for a peg head, look at that. How cool is that? That's really going to be neat. I'll show you more of that shortly. Now, we're going to have a tea with Monty, so if you haven't participated in this yet, you need to get involved. Send me your questions, because we're all at home. We've got nothing to do. So what do you say we have a cup of tea together and I answer some questions? So fire them in, and I'll do the best I can to answer them. All right. What do you say we get started? Here's what we're going to do. First thing I want to get, I've got this in here on my workbench. Now, I've got this up here. The wax paper will keep the glue from, jumping on my workbench and making a terrible mess of that. And I want to show you a real neat trick here. And this is important. Let me get another ruler here. It's important when you're doing this to put something underneath this, because you don't want this flat down on the workbench. If it's flat on the workbench, then what happens is you glue this piece on, and it may tear a little bit, and it may not be flat all the way around, as you see here. So when you put this ruler, that raises this up. Therefore, this extends down below the bottom. And I'm going to plane that and sand it off. So it's going to be all good. So let's get the glue. And let's put this on here like that. Now, this is going to take a while to get done, okay? This doesn't get done just lickety-split. So what I'm going to do, I have some more work to do. I'm designing another peg head. You know, the top of the guitar there, I want to get another one. And we'll design that a little differently. Okay, I got lots of glue on there. Slow down, hands. If you're new to the channel, you need to know my hands shake like crazy. That's because I'm old and I've got this stupid essential trimmer going on. And it makes life really difficult for me at times. I've had a lot of subscribers, of which you guys are the best, send me in suggestions as to what I can do about that. I still think the best thing I can do is take my hand and glue it to the workbench and see if my body shakes. All right, so we've got the ruler in there. Now I put a piece of wood up here to protect that. Keep that straight. Want to make sure this is all the way down. Haha. It wasn't quite down. We saved ourselves a problem there. All right, now I have a supply of dental picks. So when you go to your dentist, don't forget to ask them for some old, dull dental picks that they don't use anymore. Sometimes they send them out to be sharpened, then after a while they just don't do that, and they got a big bag full of them. Ask their dentist if you can have a couple of them, and they'll give them to you. Let me get this on, because this is going to be... I did not like the way that was set up there. With these pins, I've got another one around here somewhere. Here. With these bench dogs, I only have this amount of width to work with. That's why I've put this plywood here and this plywood here, because it'll extend it. And what it does is it brings the pressure right across so that I know it's perfectly proper all the way along. Now we just leave that, and we'll come back shortly. I'll take that off and I'll show you what we do next, because we can. Don't forget, send me your questions, all right? I'll be back in just a few minutes. So we got the first part done. The end of that is on there really nice. And while we were away letting this dry, I took apart the disc sander and put new sandpaper on it, cleaned it all up, got it brand new, and I've just touched the edges of these. They're perfectly smooth, and we're ready to go. So here's how we do the side. The same thing. I've got a longer ruler under here now to raise it up, and this is the piece we're going to put on the side, and it's coming to about there. So I'll just break that off. This is about 10-12 thousandths of an inch thick, which is thick in some places and thin in others. What can I say? All right, let's give this a shot here. This is a wedge, which will force this tight. Okay, there we have it. It's all clamped in place. It's got the wedge to hold it in place. The vise is tight. I can tighten that up a little more just to make sure everything's good and snug. It looks good. The ruler is in place and everything seems fine. Now we just have to wait. So I'll get on with some other tasks around the shop and we'll come back and do the other side in a moment. Well, that's it for me today. This is perfect. I'm just going to let this dry and then we'll sand it all down and I'll show you in the next video exactly what this looks like. So don't forget to subscribe, to hit the like button and hit the bell to be notified, and that would be just wonderful. There are links down below, and if you're going to get yourself some Starbond super glue, then by all means make sure you use my name so you get a 15% discount on that. And it's all good. I'm so glad you're here. I really do appreciate you. Don't forget to read the community section. I'm doing a little bit of a different thing here. When I was 19, I traveled all through Europe backpacking, and I'm writing about that right now. And so far, off Newfoundland in the pitch of night, and funny things happen. You'll want to check that out. Well, thanks again, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.